Welcome, everyone. We will not keep you too long. That's kind of been the new format of these calls, because when we were building and when we were coming to launch and when we were putting it together, it was really quite important to make sure that we were able to share all ideas out loud and be able to solicit all advice from everyone involved. That was the process that allowed us to get to a platform and an experience that we have, a lot of confidence in, and one that everyone seems to like a lot, and one that's built for everyone to truly, truly love. As of now, because that's all behind us, and of course, there's always new things coming, but now it's an execution. And I've said so many times, probably one of the most important things that I've ever learned is that it's not the idea that's valuable, although it is, it's the execution. Because you can have the most amazing idea. In fact, many people have had the most amazing idea. In fact, many people have had the most amazing idea, and then years later, I've seen it become a multi-bajillion-dollar company, and bajillion is a real number, right? I don't think so. And said, oh my God, I thought of that first. Yeah, you did. What did you do with it? Right? So it's the execution. How can you take that idea and do something with it to go ahead and create an outcome that meets the vision of what you were speaking of or thinking of, or maybe even better. And that's what RHINOStreet has been the entire process. But like anything else, you need to have, perfect is the enemy of the good. If you spend every single day, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I should add this, you'll never actually get to the product part. You have to have it and just put it out there. So on August 6th, we did our soft launch. It was our first Saturday email to everyone. And it really went quite well. Like we had, I think it was over 9,500 opens, which is good-ish, right? Like before we paused our emails, we had gotten up to, I think one time we got to 16,000. And that was like a one-time thing, right? The most of them were between 12 and 14,000. So did we lose some opens? Yes. Why did we lose some opens? Maybe just some things went stale, right? It was 3 months from email to email. That's always possible. The email that we sent was from Anthony Calishon at RHINOresearchLLC.com. Now it's from Anthony at RHINOStreet. So it's a bit of a different email. It's much shorter, much cleaner, much nicer, but maybe not as familiar. And the emails that we sent always said, meeting Wednesday, 2 p.m. Now, that was a bit of a play on words, right? Like we always had a meeting Wednesday, 2 p.m., right? It's now Wednesday, 2 p.m. But for those that maybe didn't know who we were, or for those that were emails that we had never emailed before, and again, in good spirits, we wanted to cause that person to open it so they could get to meet us. And if only 1 out of 100 people liked us, that was 1 out of 100 more than we had, right? So for all of those reasons, there was an embedded maybe 1,000 or 2 that were opening for the first time. Now, when we moved that, now we can't play those shenanigans with Salesforce, right? Like this is, everything that we had done was to get us to where we are, right? So you might have done something bad in your life before to get to a spot that was good. Okay, congratulations, you got there, but that doesn't mean you continue that bad. You got there, okay, enough of that. And not that emailing someone for the first time is bad, right? But we're just kind of putting it together. So when moving our contact list from where it was to where it is, we had to then scrub it. We had to make sure that every single person in our contact list was the super duper 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 contacts, right? Were the people that were you, right? Everyone that comes on our lives, everyone that participates, everyone that emails us, everyone that finds ways to engage, owns coin, owns equity, just the people that really are the DNA of Rhino. That is the email list that got moved over. So in lieu of the 10 or 20,000 emails that we would email for the first time, and pretty regularly, like I had, and I say I, but it's because I was the only one that I trusted to do it, because if it failed or if something happened, it was on my shoulders, because it was such a high wire type thing. But we had a very, very comprehensive cold email strategy where we were scraping emails in the most methodical fashion, finding them, applying them. It was just, but again, we run a company and expenses matter. Our team is second to none. I would always choose to do the extra work over here and cut cost here. And the cutting cost was to Facebook, right? Not to do all these marketing ads, to go ahead and make sure we had that extra person, or that person earned that extra salary so that they were doing the best they could, which created the best product that we can. But none of that can happen any further. Like, I can't scrape emails and bring them into Salesforce. They'll say, hey, you have a spam rate of like 15%. What is this? Get out of here, goodbye. And then all the things that we did were all for naught, right? All for nothing. So when you go ahead and take out those emails and you go ahead and factor in the new email from the new domain, right? From Anthony Kalishan at Rhino Research LLC to Anthony at RHINOStreet. And then the 3 or 4 months in between, you get a number that's probably like 25% less than what our normalized number was, which is fine. And I say it's fine because now it's only the super dupers, right? Now, what did we learn from that email? So when we sent out the first email, everyone listed your business. What I want to say is, and everyone listed their business and it was phenomenal. The form, it doesn't work like that. I can promise you, and this is something that I want to take something and throw it. You never know what you don't know. No matter how much work you put into something, it just never goes the way you want it to. But that's the point where you say, okay, oh gosh darn, let me like jump out a window, or let me solve this. And I gotta tell you, in solving that, it's more frustration than you ever had, but you have no choice but to keep going because you're already this far. So what happened was, so now if you remember, we had, we're working with Salesforce and we invented a new email, right? Now, we embedded the form into the email, into the fabric of the email. So the code of the email has the form. The form is real time. You can change and type in what you want, etc. And it's dynamic in the sense that it's our database in your email. So if you go ahead and change your name from Alexis to, I don't know, Tiffany, it doesn't just change it in the email. You changed who you are in our database. We have no control, nor do we have any ownership of your data because your data is in your email. That's yours. You can change it to pot pie, right? Like, I don't know. And I'm going to forever think your name is I like pot pie because I have no record of what it once was. The data is owned by you. Sounds great. Anthony, that's monumental. No one's ever let us own our data before. I know, that's what we're doing. Well, guess what also is done that I did not know? So email servers, in an attempt to make sure that their clients are happy, they have special bots that go ahead and peruse around your email to make sure that it's not spam. So you remember back in the day where you get emails that have all these different buttons all over it and they were always spam because your mother or your friend would never send you an email with like 50 buttons in it? Well, guess what our form has? A button. So in an effort for everyone's domain to go ahead and provide the safest email, and because we invented something that didn't exist before, you invented something that the domain servers do not know yet. And in fact, they're mistaking it for something else. So they think that we're spam. So when we send that email, your email server is already taking its special bots, going through the email and clicking around to see if there's a button. And when it clicks a button and it clicks the button, it submits the form by itself. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means a good portion of the emails we send never actually make it to the person because the button gets clicked. And when the button gets clicked, you know what happens? It submits the data back to us. Now, what data do you say? The data that's already in your email. So the data that we already have on you, that's your database, is getting sent back to us. So our search engine is just getting compiled with a bunch of blank rows. Okay, that's not good. So we went ahead and solved that. And it was a long process, but we did it. So in a week that you would think we're jumping up and down, oh my God, look how great this is, we're spending all week on my hair getting smaller and lesser than it really is. So let's go to last week, right? So we sent out our second email. It was a suggest a business form. Amazing, right? You read the email and then you had the opportunity to help populate the search engine by suggesting your favorite business. You like Lou's Shoes and Mike's Pizza. Great. In fact, we had I believe 250, let's just call it that, newly suggested businesses, which is amazing. We collect those emails, they come into our ecosystem, and now they're friendly people. The email says, hey, Alexis selected, hey, John, your friend Alexis said you have the best pizza in town. You should be on RHINOstreet because she joined RHINOstreet. Here, you can go ahead and list your business right here, right? I know what you're thinking. Anthony, that list your business form, didn't you solve it? Yeah, for the first email, but now there's one for a second email. So what happened? All 250 of those businesses, those little bots, went into the email, clicked the button, submitted back a whole bunch of blank rows. In fact, the people that were supposed to get those emails never even got them because they never made it that far because the button got selected. So when our Salesforce contract is like 150,000 and we have an agency helping us at $45,000, so it's roughly $200,000 to create exactly what I just described to you. And how long have we been doing it? How long have we been trying to create this? Weeks and weeks and months and months and months. Okay. So what am I going to do? Go jump out my window? It's one floor. I'll like sprain my leg or my ankle. No, you just got to keep solving. You got to keep figuring out. So now we're actively in real time solving things that no one's ever even thought of solving before. And you might say, Anthony, why don't you just put a capture on it? People have thought of that. You have to, how many street signs do you see? Well, the forms aren't able to have that because they're embedded into an email. They cannot provide JavaScript or anything required or unrequired. So now we're building that into our emails and integrating it with the form. So we're actually adding layers of code to what an email actually is. But that's life, right? Like that's what you got to do. Now, I share all this with you because we've identified the solutions and now it's just leap. I always ask my team, whenever we have something come up, I go, what percentage is problem solving and what percentage is labor? I'm not going to put a time limit on your problem solving. You need to think. You actually need to figure it out. Who knows how long that takes? But once we get to labor, I can put a time limit on that. Okay, you're doing this. It'll take you this much time per hour, this many hours to complete the task. All right, we have till Thursday, 8 a.m. Is that okay with you? Yes. Okay, cool. That's how Rhino runs. So in the spirit of how Rhino runs, I can tell you that by this Saturday's email, everything I just described to you will be solved. I can also tell you with a high degree of confidence that something's going to happen that I have no clue about yet. Because that's just the nature of invention. That's just the nature of doing this. By the 5th and 6th and 7th email, I'll say the same thing, and guess what will happen? There'll be no surprises. And I'll say, thank you, Lord. We're finally past the surprises. We figured it out. We solved it. Now we can go, go, go. So that's where we are on the search engine and on the emails. Starting next week, the emails are going to be both Saturday and Wednesday. I do want to have a midweek email because I just feel like 1 week is a long time to go. I've been purposely, the idea was, okay, let's email people once a week and they just have a natural, okay, Saturday we hear from RHINOstreet. But I got to tell you, that's a bit half ASSED, right? It's almost a little cowardly because if you believe you have something that's so great and if you are giving something to someone, why would they only want it once a week? It's a very distorted message. It's like, for instance, someone comes up to you and says, listen, I have the best thing in the entire world, the best, and you're like, okay, great. How much is it? They're like $2. And you're like, how great could it be if you're selling it for $2? So the message has to be congruent. So we are going to go ahead and have a Wednesday email as well. And since Wednesdays we have our lives, I think it also gives us the opportunity to bring on a much larger audience. It's large already, but bring on a larger audience that has the opportunity to ask questions, and we can answer them in real time. Because again, the ecosystem compounds on itself, right? So like if 10 people go ahead and recommend 10 people, now those new 10 people had never met us, but they're coming in because their friends recommended them. So they might want to come in and have the opportunity to see us and ask a question or two. So I do think we need to put a little bit more emphasis on these Wednesday lives. And we did. And then they kind of lulled into like, okay, guys, we're just checking in. I do think that everyone's time is valuable and we should go ahead and make these more valuable. Okay, we have a what's the word? Not itinerary, I guess maybe itinerary. This is what we're going to be speaking on. Let's do it. So that will be starting next week. I don't know what Wednesday email will look like in difference to the Saturday. I do want to start talking about the coin in one of the emails. I'm thinking that might be a Wednesday email. But I'm also thinking maybe let's just get the ecosystem larger and larger and larger before you start talking about coin to everyone that's new. So I'm debating that. As it pertains to the coin, again, we have it minted. It's sitting in a wallet. You could go to rhinobucks.com, BUX or BUCKS if you misspell bucks, and you'll see exactly where it is, right? Like it's not off in like a desert. It's there. And we purposely made the website for you to see it. And it's not a website that we made. We made the domain and it goes directly to the, what's it called? Like the accounting of it by Ethereum. I think that's where it's on, right? Or by Binance. It's there, you'll see. It gives a whole history of when it was made, who owns the coin, where the coin's located, how much, all the things that you would ever want to know in terms of accounting and auditing, it's there for you. Now, we are registering with Binance as we speak. We're putting that registration through Friday morning to go ahead and apply to be on their platform. The reason we hadn't done it yet is working with Stripe, and we've gotten approved for their Stripe Connect platform, which is their super duper VIP. And on top of that, we got approved with developer access. And that's great. We have a team of developers, right? In doing so, we have created we've taken our Stripe account and created the ability to have millions of accounts. In those millions of accounts, each person can simply opt into an account. Now, the difference between what we thought we could do with the coin and what we can do with the coin, we are not able to go ahead and invisibly distribute 1 to 5% of your existing transactions from your bank that's really siloed over here to your Rhino account that's really over here. What we can do, though, to make it nice, simple, and easy, is offer you a question. What do you think your monthly transactions are? Oh, I think they're, I don't know, $5,000. Okay, what's 1% of 5,000? $50, I think, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure $50. Yeah, $50. $50 over the course of a month equals what, like $15 a week? Okay, great. I would like to go ahead and transact at $15 a week. In which case, that is now a recurring package designed specifically to you that pulls from your designated account, so your checking or savings, or wherever the 15 is coming from, pulls it, then converts it to USDC, and then automatically within a swap with our Binance API, will purchase that allotted amount of coin from the Binance marketplace, bring that back into the wallet that's installed in your Stripe account. So at the very, it's so funny because like I think of this stuff and I'm so in the minutia of it, right? Like so in it. But when I take a step back and I'm like, we just invented the only easy, reoccurring cash to coin transaction in a designated wallet ever. And I'm sure maybe that exists somewhere, but I know the experience that I've always had with coin. It's okay, where do I get it? I have to go ahead and open an account with this crypto company, and then I got to convert the cash over here, and it takes this long to get it, then I got to swap it over here. It's a nightmare. What if you were able to just say, okay, I want to buy $10 worth of coin a week? Done. That's what that is. So we have the packages set up. And in fact, I even have a package to $1 because there's going to be many people that say, hey, listen, I like the idea, but let me just get in, right? And we are obligating and requiring it. Like you cannot have this Stripe account unless you select a package. That's why we're offering $1 one, because we don't want to restrict people, but it also isn't something where it's like, okay, hey guys, we're still playing games. No, it's this. If you're serious, let's do it together. And we're making sure that none of the disqualifying factors is something like money, $1 a week. I think all of us could do that together. And if we can't, you call me and I will do your dollar a week. And that's not to be derogatory, but I really don't think that's disqualifying. But in some instance that, God forbid it is, I will do it for you. And everyone knows I always say yes to everything everyone asks, so that's okay. Okay, so that's being set up. Now that we have that, we're able to put that into our registration paperwork with Binance and let them know this is the partnerships that we have, so that Binance approves us, and then we can then get that Binance API to go ahead and connect to that account so that it goes directly to Binance and purchases it. At that point, I'm going to have all the coin, right? The coin's going to be in my account, in which case I'm going to be able to sell X amount of coin. So the entire coin allotment, or the coin that I would be ever willing to sell, is going to be calculated to what the demand is. So for instance, when we do go through all of our investors and coin owners, first and foremost, every one of you is getting a call from me because we need to build a demand. And anyone that says, Anthony, I don't want to participate in building the demand for the thing that I own and spent a year or two involved with, I'm going to, let's just not, I won't be happy. That being the case, once we go ahead and build that demand, let's say we have 3,300 people that own coin. So let's say 2,000 of the 3,300 say, sign me up for $10 a week, right? And it goes up to 100. We're not letting anyone do more than 100 a week, but it does go up to 100. So they say, sign me up for $10 a week. So 2,000 times 10 is 20,000, which means we have $20,000 worth of demand every single week going through the system, which means I can then go ahead and put 20,000 worth of coin on the market, which means how do I do that? Well, I have the billion, and if 20,000 demand is there and we want the coin to be worth $1, I will put a sell order for 20,000 coin at $1, which means the only way you could buy the coin is by buying it for $1, which means the packages that are looking to buy the coin are market orders. They're buying the coin at whatever price it's at. That's the way the market's able to be calculated. So if I am selling it only $1 and you're buying at whatever the sell price is, the market price will always be $1 until we want to raise the price. So say, for instance, which I'm always going to do, right? Like my report card is the coin price. And I know that 100%. And I've never got anything under a B on a report card. And even that I got in trouble for when I was younger, right? So I would like to make sure that coin price goes up, let's say 10% a month in the beginning. Because once the demand is full, then the coin price could just go to like kingdom come. But if we could get the coin to go up 10, 20% a month, which again is easily calculated. I know the demand, it's a weekly demand, and I can go ahead and put the price on the coin for the demand to purchase the coin. That's the easy part. So we can always manage the price of the coin. And you might be thinking to yourself, Anthony, why hasn't anyone ever done that? Because no one's ever taken a long-term approach to this. They put the coin on the market, they throw it all there, they try to keep the ecosystem, hey guys, I got this pretty girl posting about it, come on, and none of it's backed by anything. So it's just, how many people can you trick? So you go ahead and do the cash grab, and then you walk away and say, well, my lawyer said I was okay. That's not this, which is why this is going to be something that lasts quite a while. And even still, we built a whole search engine too. If you think about it, the search engine is like, hey, if you're in coin, here's a search engine. Or how about this? Here's our search engine. If you want to participate in the coin as well, which goes with it, cool, but if not, no problem. In the world where everyone tries to just take advantage of everyone, we're like the Chinese restaurant that's, hey, you want a free sample, you want a free sample, you want a free sample. Like, we made all of this just to give away. And if you come back and actually purchase the $5.99 lunch combo, everyone's happy. Except for the Chinese restaurant in the mall that I grew up in, that they gave you a free sample. And then when you walk away, they yell at you. And I'm not going to do the voice because it might offend someone, but I don't mean it offensively. Oh, I want to, but I'm not. When they yell at you, how dare you take the sample and not get the lunch, right? So you didn't go to that person. That all being said, so that's the update on the coin. I don't know how long the Binance process is. I can promise you I have zero expectation that's over a month. That being said, it's probably like a week or two, hopefully. We're really good candidates. We have over 47,000 people in the ecosystem that own coin. When I said 3,300 before, I meant that's 3,300 people purchase coin. But in terms of everyone that owns a coin, because we've always given it away, it's over 47,000. So I think any platform would say, oh my God, you have 47,000 individual emails that all want to be on our platform. Yes, we'll welcome you on. That being said, it's, we can't take that for granted. Like we're not gonna fill out the form in crayon, right? Like we're gonna be respectful. That said, I'm looking at my board because I actually wrote down some of this stuff. Oh, after we get the payment system completed, we're moving back into the app. The additions we need to make with the app is chat. And we're going to take the wallet that we just talked about with Stripe that you're going to own and put it into, it looks horrible, right? We're going to put it into the app so that, again, if you have the app, all right there. And if you don't have the app, no problem. Your Stripe is going to be your individual bank account. It's yours. You could stripe.com, right? Is this stripe.com? I don't know. You get the point. Search engine bots, I already shared that. Coin is over $1. I shared that. Email Wednesday and Saturday, shared that. Binance, shared that. What I don't have up there that I do want to share. So everyone knows V, who's our most amazing head of concierge. Because the last 2 weeks we've had difficulty with the emails, that speaks to an opportunity. Great, we have an opportunity to identify our challenges and grow from it. But that does not speak to performance because now we have 2 weeks of things that did not get done. So in V's capacity where she's always emailing everyone and always keeping such good context so that if anyone ever has a question, because again, it's not that I live in an ivory tower and when everyone asks, yes, I'm always busy, but I'm never too busy for anyone. But that being said, because I'm always busy, the priority, or not the priority list, but the list of things I get to, always at the bottom, it's, oh, and during free time, just call someone and say hello. Like I never get to that one. But that's what V was the value proposition of having such an amazing concierge member where she can just keep in touch with everyone. And if it ever needs to get to me, great. But she's the representative, like she represents me. That being said, to go ahead and marry it all together, we went ahead and put together a structure for V going forward in terms of in the emails. It is very important that everyone goes ahead and either list their business. And now you don't have to own the business to list your business, right? Like if you're a teacher at a school, you're important to us. Well, everyone's important to us. But if I'm sending my child to a school, which my wife and I do, I want to know the teachers, not the marketing, right? We send our child to, well, I probably am not allowed, she'd probably kick my butt if I start sharing all that stuff. We send our child to a very nice school and we know the marketing of it, but we did not make the decision until we walked in the school and met the teachers. So if I was able to look up schools to send to school, and of course it's going to be in my zip code, and I see this teacher, teacher at ABC South. And I go ahead and click that person's page, whatever their page might be their Facebook, might be their Instagram. It might just be something that represents them. It might be a bio, whatever it is. The fact that I got to meet the teacher, maybe a little messaging, maybe an email, is very important to me. And the fact that, oh yeah, you know her, she knows her, everyone knows her. And then on the chat, by the way, in the app, there will be a live feed for localities. So for instance, I live in 11111. I can go onto live feed and, hey guys, I was thinking about schools. Does anyone know a good one? And we probably still got to work on this because as the app becomes more popular, we'll probably have to make a forum. No, forum sounds so boring. But okay, this feed can't just be general conversation, right? Like this will be food, this will be schools, whatever the case may be. The point is, just because you don't own a business doesn't mean you don't represent a business. And I can tell you, anyone can tell you, you're on the clock 24/7. If you are a school teacher and you are working 9 to 5, and then your second job is stripping at night, I can promise you the school won't employ you any longer because you are no no longer upholding the good name of their school, right? So you're always representing where you work. So to go ahead and have the ability to meet the people that are representing the places, everyone is able to go ahead and list their business, even if they're an employee of a business, because you're still a business owner of your labor, which you're selling to an employer. Point of the story being, everyone needs to list their business. And if you listed your business, it is completely, if you've been with us this long, I don't want to say you're obligated to, that sounds rude. But like, there's a lot of, like when I sit up here and say we've done this together, it's not just me like, oh, hey, the works together really tests well. No, I've taken everyone's advice. I've listened to the good, the bad. I've been there the whole time. And there is a partnership here. So I actually, for us to be successful, need you to say, okay, Ann, actually, there's this one really great pizza spot. They would be, they'll probably be real. Everyone loves them. Why don't you go ahead and list them, email them and welcome them. Tell them that I said so. Great, thank you. We're going to do that all ourselves. In fact, V has the forms on her. So when she emails you, hey, what's up? Bop, 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 bop. Hey, by the way, can you list a business? These are the fields I need from you. Email her back. She'll go ahead and do all the labor for you. That way we can really start going. All that being said, our first email I had shared with you had 9,500 opens. This email, which I'm going to share with you the statistics Saturday, already has over 10,000. I think we're at 10,300. So some of the things we're solving are working. The engagement is high. You'll see all the new metrics we'll be reporting Saturday. But it's all going in the right direction. And it's funny because when I take a step back and just look at the data, look at the checklist of things, they're all going in the right direction. I just want it faster. And it's my fault. I put my foot in my mouth because I remember we had said that January 2023 was the launch. And then I said June. And now I feel like I'm chasing June ever since. And it's now August. I'm like, oh my God, I have to get it out in September, or else other people are going to be, because I'm so accountable to you. I can never go back and say January, I know that. But I think it's happening. So that's what I have for you today. That is the Rhino update that I submit to you. And I hope everyone's having fun. I can tell you that it's happening, right? Like I'm here. I even have the shirt. Thank you everyone for being a little patient with me this month. I know our investor commentaries and checks have not gone out. They're going out this weekend because I haven't gotten to them. There was no certificates that went out, but that was purposely so because the number is in the commentaries now because we do weekly commentaries. But some people did not know that and they tried to reach me and I was slow on that. I've been slow on a lot of things this month and it's not laziness, I can promise you that. So I'm gonna run because it's already 2:30 and God knows there's stuff to do. But I absolutely love all of you. I really, really do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart and we're going to get it done. So please help me. I really, really just need your help. So actually I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna give V the email list for those that participated on this call. And at least you are the first ones to hear me say it. And I believe all of you went ahead and said, yes, 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 Anthony, of course we will. I have something in my eye, I'm sorry. Of course we will, why wouldn't we? So if you could help me and help V, that'd be amazing. So totally love everyone. Have the most amazing day and I will see you